It's Ancient LA, otherwise known as Cole, from Brochilla Gaming. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison for you between the gaming PC and the next-gen console, specifically the Xbox One. I have both, and I use them basically equally. And I'm going to go, and personally, I found a lot of people that review both, or compare, rather, the Xbox One and a gaming PC to be quite biased. Either they are all for a console, or they are all for a gaming PC. Now, first, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of both. Now, the pros of an Xbox, or any console, any next-gen console for that matter, is that, first of all, you have, first of all, they're, relatively inexpensive. $500 for the Xbox One, $400 for the PlayStation 4. Second of all, they're easy, stable, they work well. You know it's gonna work. You're gonna start it up, you're gonna put your game in, and it's working. You don't need to fiddle with any settings. There aren't any extra applications to install. For Battlefield on the PC, you have to install Punkbuster, you have to install all these other programs, and sometimes I've had Punkbuster just fail on me, and I have to go through and completely re-download Punkbuster, put new files into Punkbuster, all the Battlefield files. It takes a little while. This quick startup time. You just turn it on within 30 seconds or so, it's up and running, you put your game in, it's going. It's working fast. On some more inexpensive computers that have, slower 400 RPM, those you wouldn't be really gaming on, but if you want cheap on your hard drive or something, it takes a little while. It has to kind of figure itself out before you can get using it from a cold boot up. Also, with a console, right now, the next-gen games look good. If you're looking for a next-gen console and you only want to use a next-gen console that has good graphics, definitely go with PS4. If you're looking at something that also has good kind of entertainment features, such as Netflix, Amazon Instant Video, YouTube, things like that, you can pipe your cable, even though I don't even use cable anymore, my family doesn't even use cable. If you're looking for something like that, you're going to want to go with the Xbox One. The PS4 has better graphics. The Xbox One still has good graphics, but it's not up to the standard of the PlayStation 4. And the reason for this is because the PlayStation 4 has 8 gigabytes of DDR5, GDDR5 memory, which is graphics memory that comes in your graphics cards on a computer, and then the Xbox One has DDR3, I believe 1600 megahertz memory. I might be wrong about that. I know it is still DDR3 though, which is slower. It's something you find in standard laptop memory, desktop memory. So they still look good. You're moving around in Battlefield. You're moving around, and maybe I'll put some B-roll up of this if I can. You're moving around. You're looking everywhere, and it looks good. If you're moving, it looks good. The lighting effects are nice. They put in detail and they used resources in ways that I thought was really smart. With both consoles, they used them in ways that I thought was very smart. It looks good when we're moving around. But the one change is when you're standing still. If you really look at things when you're standing still, you see where $500 isn't giving you the Battlefield 4 or something on full ultra settings experience. Because you have a little bit of aliasing, there isn't as much detail in terms of things on the ground, shadow detail isn't there, but it still is a very nice looking game, and I do love playing on my console. Now, some advantages to the gaming PC are, first of all, you have a PC. I mean, you can use a computer. If it's a decent gaming rig, it probably is at least an okay editing computer for video editing, so you can do what I do. You can record and edit. I don't use this computer to edit. I have a much more powerful iMac. Yes, I am mainly a Mac user. I've used Macs for years. I have a very powerful iMac that I use for all of my editing, and we actually have the 12-core Mac Pro on the way. And I use all that for editing, but this is still a decent editing computer. If you saw my video on the PC, it has an i5 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the CUDA cores inside of the graphics cards will definitely help with editing. So, I mean, you can still edit on this machine. Now, so you have that, you have all the things that you can do on a computer. Another advantage is, as you can see behind me, that is 5 screens. We have two 23-inch Acer gaming monitors, and on the bottom we have a touchscreen and another touchscreen over there. You know, and I have all my flight simulator software. You can't get good flight simulator software for a Xbox One or a PS4. Not that a lot of people need that, but that's just the thing. Another thing is, sorry if you can hear that, I'm moving my microphone down here. Well, a con of it is that a good gaming PC is expensive. You're not going to get something. In fact, personally, I believe that you're going to get, if you're going to say, okay, I'm going to build a kill your console PC for $500 or $600, you know, maybe spend $100 more than what you get once you spend on the Xbox One or something. You say, I'm going to build and this is by today's standards, within the same fiscal year as when both next-gen consoles come out, because maybe 5 years from now, if you're watching this, you can build a $500 system that is as good as $2,000 systems today. I don't know. But, I mean, this computer behind me, not including the monitors, which are, each one of those monitors are about $200 a piece, and then it's $400 for the touchscreen. You know, that's about, I mean, so that's, you know, that's almost $1,000. Or, you know, basically is $1,000 for the monitors there alone. And then you've got the computer, which is probably, when it first came out, it's probably not, by today's standards, it wouldn't cost as much if you could find the components, but it's about, you know, a $1,200 to $1,500 computer. You know, it's 3 times more, and I'm going to say it's about $1,500. It's 3 times more than the Xbox One. But it plays these games on Ultra. And certain games, a few years old, I can put on full graphics settings and run it on all 3 monitors and be recording. You know, and it's also powerful enough for me to record. On the Xbox One, I do like the fact that you can record to it, but you know, there's a lot of things involved. I have to, if I want to get it to my computer to upload to YouTube, I have to install, I have to own SkyDrive. I have to have space on SkyDrive, and then I have to, you know, send it to SkyDrive and deal with it there, which really isn't good. I mean, obviously, and I know a lot of people are going to be saying this in the comments, yes, I could get an Elgato or something like that to use it against game capture, but I just don't have it yet, especially because this is a new channel. You know, I have Fraps, which is $30. I'm not actually sure how much an Elgato cost. I have a few friends that have them, but I'm not sure what the cost is of them. You know, so that's one of the things about, you know, the two differences. So, I mean, why would you want a console? If you're not a big gamer, if you're, I mean, some people might want to build an editing rig and be gaming on the side, but that's completely besides the point. If you're wanting to build an editing rig, you shouldn't be thinking, well, do I want to build a computer, or do I want to go buy a console? You know, if you're building a decent Windows-based editing rig, and you're going to build it out of gaming PC components, let's say an i7 hexa-core processor, and, you know, 780 or something, a good graphics card, even lower than that. I mean, I have a bunch of friends that are using i5s, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 770, and they're running 90 to 100 frames per second on a 1920 by 1080 monitor at Battlefield 4 at full ultra. I mean, it's very good. So if you're really building an editing rig, it's gonna play games. I mean, that's a given. So what else? So, you know, back to just specifically a gaming PC and specifically a console. Consoles are nice if you're not a huge gamer. And think about how many big gamers specifically are console-based. I mean, there are a lot of big YouTube guys out there. Minnesota Burns. They're console-based. You know, they just don't want to deal with gaming PC. You can put it on your TV, in your room. You can have all your friends running on one system and play a bunch of games all the time, and it's fun. You know, that's what I use this for. I can move this in 5 seconds to the big TV in the family room and be playing, you know, Xbox One on a 16-inch TV, and I can move it downstairs to the home theater and be playing it on a 13-foot projector screen. 13-foot, I mean, literally I can play it on a 4K projector, and I can, with the 4K capabilities of the Xbox One, I can have a 4K movie playing if I really want to. You know, that's you know, the thing about it. It's just a simple system. I have Netflix on here. I can sit here and watch Netflix. I have Amazon Instant Video. I have YouTube. Anything I want is there. Now, granted, I hate the YouTube interface in the Xbox One, but that's besides the point. You know, it's quick and easy. With the PC, you're going to have to deal with certain things. I mean, yes, the games are cheaper, but you have to install. You know, all this other stuff with the games. You got, you know, for Battlefield 4, you got the Origin client. Then you have to go to your web browser to start the game. You have, you know, with Steam. Steam is relatively easy. A lot of games are just, you need the Steam client and you're fine. But that's just one of the things. Now, one of the slightly annoying points for me about the consoles or sorry, not the consoles. Yes, the consoles. Is switching games, because most of my games I get on disc still. I don't buy them on the store, and you know, it's a little annoying switching games around and things like that. But that's not a huge deal for me. You know, in the end, it's really up to your opinion. Do you want to spend... You spend $1,500, not even $1,500. I have a friend that just built a $1,000 computer. It's running an i5, he's got an overclocked 4.2 GHz, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 770, and he's perfectly fine. You know, Battlefield 4 on Ultra, 90 to 100 frames per second, no big deal. He can record, he can do whatever he wants, and still keep a nice frame rate. You know, if you really want to spend that much money, $1,000 will do it. Believe it or not, if you spend $1,000 wisely, by the way, make sure that if you do decide to go to the PC route, that you spend whatever money you have wisely, especially if you have a low budget. If you have a crazy high budget, go all out, I don't care. If you're on a low budget, I'd say $1,000 would be, you know, the lowest you could go with sales to get an Ultra, a PC that plays games on Ultra, like today's games on Ultra. But, you know, if you're willing to spend that money, do it. You're going to have an amazing gaming experience. Personally, I do think a keyboard and mouse are the best ways to control a game. I love the controllers on the Xbox One, but I still like the feeling of using a keyboard and mouse better. You know, you can, if you're willing to spend up to $1,500, at that point, basically, once you get past $1,500, you're probably going to be building a gaming PC that can play things on Ultra these days. If you just want to be able to mess around with your friends and not deal with it, and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, I mean, $500, granted, is still pricey, but if you're in the market for, if you're willing to get an Xbox, I mean, obviously, it's a lot less expensive than a good gaming PC these days. You know, it's not that, you know, it's a nice system. It runs the games well. It's going to run the games well for the next 8 years if Microsoft continues their cycle. You know, that's really the decision you have to make at that point. So the big things in the end that I think are important when you're choosing whether you want to go the route of console or PC is, so first, the price. Second, you know, what you need. So whether you need a new computer and you're willing to spend the extra money to get a gaming PC. Let's say you need a new computer and you've kind of thought about getting a gaming PC, the budget's there. I'd say go with a gaming PC or a new PC, build it at a high-end rate, you know, because once you get into gaming PC, you're really looking at high-end computers. You can go to Best Buy and buy a $300 computer, but it's never going to run a single game. So, you know, if you're in the market for a new computer and willing to, when you have the budget, go the gaming PC route. If you have a nice computer already, but maybe you have a computer that you use, you don't do a whole lot of editing, you have a computer that you use, but you want to play casually, go the route of a console. You want to be able to play with your friends, go with the route of console. Or if all your friends do LAN parties, the reason I really started PC gaming was because so many of my friends did LAN parties that were PC based. I built a nice compact system, or got a nice compact system. I haven't built it. I'm still wanting to build a computer though. I'm deciding on what I'm going to do for an upgrade soon. So besides that, it's really up to your choice. This video wasn't very well formulated, I should have made a list, but it's really your choice. Think about your budget, think about what you want to do, think about how you're going to use it, and make your decision from there. So anyway guys, that's it for this video. I'm sorry for the slightly bad quality of how I made this, but those are my opinions on whether you want a PC or an Xbox One. I love both systems and I use both systems a lot, and you know, really it's your decision on whether you want to go, on which route you want to go. So anyway guys, this has been another video from Berkshire Gaming. Thanks for watching, spam that like button, and I'll see you next time.